Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jade and today I am doing my birthday book haul. I know that the last video I uploaded was a book haul from the summer of the books I collected, and I warned you guys there would be another one because it's my birthday month. And I finally decided to film it and I have a lot of video ideas that I want to start doing. I just have to push myself to do it. I've been in a little bit of a slump of life just because like college is stressful, but as you can see we got some big stacks. We have one up here as well, so let's get going. The first book I have here is Romanov by Nadine Brands. Not even royal blood can stop bullets. I have no idea what it's about, but I know that it intrigued me, so I got it. The history books say I died. They don't know the half of it. Okay, that's good. Anastasia Romanov was given a single mission to smuggle an ancient spell into her suitcase on her way to exile in Siberia. It might be her family's only salvation, but the leader of the Bolsheviks' army is after them, and he's hunted Romanov before. Nastia's only chance of saving herself and her family are either to release the spell and deal with the consequences, or to enlist help from Zash, the handsome soldier who doesn't act like the average Bolshevik. Nastia has only dabbled in magic, but it doesn't frighten her half as much as her growing attraction to Zash. She likes him. She thinks he might even like her. That is, until she's on the side... that is, until she's on one side of a firing squad and he's on the other. Cool. So if you guys know about the Romanovs, they're the Russian Tsar family that was killed when the end of the Tsar happened. They were all executed via firing squad. Very gruesome. If you're into stuff like that, definitely look into it. It's really messed up. But there is this rumor that they had like a different secret daughter or something, or like one of them still survives, that people kind of believe in. And that sounds like that's what this is about because her name is Anastasia, but it has like a magical twist. So kind of intriguing. Like, I don't really know what to expect, even though I know the story of the history of it, so I really like that. The next book I have is Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. We all have seen people hold up this book and talk about it, and it didn't get the best reviews, but it's like people still enjoy it. This is very gorgeous, by the way. I really like this book. This is about... Ooh. Do you hear that new book sound? Some stories are so beautiful, so brutal, that they claw at your heart and refuse to let go. Welcome to the world of Wicked Saints, an epic, passionate novel that you won't soon forget. Prepare to meet a girl named Nadia who hears the whispers of gods in her head, which is why I really want to read this book, because that's so interesting to me. That's honestly the whole reason why. A prince surrounded by desperate suitors and deadly assassins. A monster hidden behind pale, tortured eyes and a smile that cuts like a knife. The path of these three characters becomes entwined during a century-long whirl filled with sinners and saints, magic and mystery, and a star-crossed romance that threatens to tip the scales between dark and light forever. Sounds really good. I'm definitely getting the feel that fantasy books recently, though, are including a lot of romance, to like the point where all of them are about it. I also got The Wicked King. Oh, okay. By Holly Black. This is the second book to the Cruel Prince series, and I really, really liked it. I'm one of the people that really enjoyed it, actually. And it's a continuation. This series is about a girl who lives in the fairy realm with her human sister and then her fairy half older sister and half younger brother. And their dad is a general in the fairy king's army, and she goes to school with fairies and really has to be tough and protect herself because they're always trying to mess with her. And she wants to get to live her own life, which she doesn't feel like she's going to get to. So it's kind of like the main character taking control of her own life. And it's a really good book, and I definitely really enjoyed it. And I'm excited for the next one because did not expect the ending. I kind of did, but not like that. Then I got my new favorite series. I got all of the School for Good and Evil books by, it is by Soman Chichani. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that would be pretty on a bookshelf, but it's too tall, I think. This is about a world where, let me get the first one out. There is a school for good and evil, and all the characters of fairy tales, classic fairy tales, attended this school, and there was a war between good and evil like 200 years ago, and ever since then, good has won every story, so the balance is tipped. And it's about two best friends who end up being chosen to go to the school to start their own story. And the main, one of them goes to evil and one of them goes to good. But they feel like they both should be in the other because of like societal expectations and their own expectations of their life. And so it kind of hurts their friendship, even though their friendship is so deep. And it's so good. Like, it's kind of like reading... There's also like a game at the end of every year. There's this huge game in the forest where they attack each other basically, and whoever's the last one left wins. And like, I love that addition to it. Like, there really is a wow, okay, pretend I said that right, between the schools, which adds a lot of tension on their friendships because they are still friends. And it's really good. I love the series. I've read the first two, I believe, so far. I've listened to them on audiobooks, and they're definitely like some of my favorites. Let me put that back all nice now. The next book I have is There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rosepool, and this is a novel where there used to be these priests who have this great prophecy that one day they will disappear, and there will be one priest that returns that will either like ruin or save the world. So it's kind of like the If sort of book scenario, but it also has, I think, 7 different point of views. It has the prince exiled from his kingdom, the ruthless killer, a once faithful leader torn between his duty and heart, a reckless gambler with the power to find anyone or anything. You see how that's important here? And a dying girl on the verge of giving up. One of them or all of them could break the world. Will they be savior or destroyer? So, it's pretty cool. And I think it actually has like an evil thing. It's called The Age of Darkness. I don't know. I wonder if there'll be like an actual monster enemy. I think that would be more interesting, actually. And sorry if I'm like staring not at you guys the whole time. Getting used to a new setup. What's really upsetting about this place is I have a bookshelf right here. I would love to get to film in front of it, but the only light is coming from this window. So I can like show you my bookshelf because I also want to show you it because it's cute. Like, I really would love to film in front of this beautiful bookshelf that's covered in plants and makes it look super fun. But I can't because then it's like all pixelated and stuff. Ah, knocked my coffee over. See, I wanted to show you guys, but I just messed up my whole setup. Well, I'm not in the middle anymore. It's fine. Everything's fine. Let's continue. This video's gonna be so long. I'm so sorry, guys. The next book is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I had to get. This book is like screaming at me to read it, but I'm also reading a book right now that kind of has to do with the same sort of situation, so I can't pick this up because I know it'll make me not pick up the other one. But this book is about a girl that gets into Yale University, and she ends up getting involved with like a cult that's there, and you know, like danger and death and things is kind of how it works. But I'm interested kind of in like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna read this because I haven't read this. Alex dropped out of school early and into a world of shady drug dealer boyfriends, dead-end jobs, and much, much worse. In fact, by age 20, she was the sole survivor of a horrific, unsolved multiple suicide. Some say that she'd thrown her life away, but at her hospital bed, Alex offered a second chance to attend one of the world's most prestigious universities on a full ride. There's a catch, and why her? Whoa. This got so much more interesting. Oh god, I want to pick it up. Also, look at the beautiful snake detailing in the inside. Love that. Still searching for answers, Alec arrives in New Haven, tasked by mysterious benefactors with monitoring the activities of a Yale secret society. Ooh. The 8 windowless tombs are the well-known haunts of the rich and powerful, from high-ranking politicians to Wall Street's biggest players, but their occult activities are more sinister and more extraordinary than any paranoid imagination might conceive. They tamper with forbidden magic, they raise the dead, and sometimes they prey on the living. Okay. This just got, like, pushed to the top of my TBR. And it already was at the top, but now it's higher at the top. This is my next on the top of my TBR book I have. I got The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. It's a vampire book, and everyone's been raging about it because everyone misses vampires. And I'm just intrigued because of where this book takes place. It takes place in New Orleans, which is already, like, adding to the fact that, like, vampires in New Orleans. And it's about this girl that kind of gets involved with, like, a mobster, basically, but he's, like, a gentleman. I think it's, like... But the main character is a sister in a convent, and she's enraptured in the city of New Orleans, and she ends up, catching the eye of the La Cour des Lions, so, which is cool and all, but then the body of one of the girls in her convent shows up in Sebastian's own lair, so, like, in his club, and it's the second one, so she knows that something's going on, and I think she kind of falls into the mystery of everything, and it just sounds so good. Like, it's not even that it's a vampire book that book sounds good, it's because the book actually just sounds really good. So, the next book I have here, also on the top of my TBR, because, it's, The Tyrants Tomb, the 4th book of the Trials of Apollo series, and if you guys have caught up with this series, up until the 3rd book, if you have read the 3rd book, you know what happens, and I'm still, like, I'm honestly gonna start crying right now. I'm fine. Rick Riordan really changed up his writing. Not his writing, he changed up what's acceptable in his books, and they're kind of aging, and he threw in something that was never really that important in the other books, and I'm really upset, and I really need to continue with this series because I also really love Apollo as a main character. I think he's one of the best main characters, and I love the places we've gone to, because we've gone to places that are extremely different in this book than any of the past ones, and we've also gone to Greek and Roman, because you know that the Lost Hero introduces Roman, and Percy Jackson's all Greek, and, like, this really combines a lot of it, and I thought that was really interesting and fun, and because the world has changed so much from the previous books, we're seeing the change in what they're going through, and I really like it, and it also incorporates new and old, and it's so good, and I'm gonna start crying. The next book I actually just picked up and started reading for this video. It's The 10th Girl by Sarah Farin. And this is, like, my most anticipated book of the year. I found it the most interesting when it was talked about after Book Expo. But it's about this girl who's 18, and she goes to this mysterious school at the very bottom tip of South America to teach at this private finishing school that's, like, the most renowned in the world. And it was actually closed down after some sort of sickness came and kind of killed everyone. But it's reopened for the first time, and she's going to teach there. And the point of this school is it offers a place for people that are outcasts in society or in danger because of different things that's happening, because the main character is from Argentina, and there is, like, a war going on there, so she goes to the school to teach to get away from everything. And they're supposed to always have 10 girls. They always used to teach 10 girls, and that was kind of tradition. And so I know that something happens with that, but I don't really want to know everything. I'm so intrigued. This is a psychological thriller with, like, a supernatural twist, so I think it'll be really, really good. And honestly, just pick it up and read the prologue. It tells about how the school was made, and that will already intrigue you. So I really recommend just picking it up and read this prologue, guys. Like, I want to read it. I've already started reading it. The next book I have is Reincarnate Blues by Michael Porf. One of my favorite booktubers mentioned this, and it has such a pretty cover, and it sounded so interesting, but I don't really remember exactly what it's about. First we live, then we die, and then we get another try? I like that. 10,000 tries to be exact. 10,000 lives to get it right, answer all the big questions, achieve wisdom, and become one with everything. Milo has had 9,995 chances so far, and has just 5 more to earn a place in the cosmic soul. If he doesn't make the cut, oblivion awaits, but all Milo really wants is to fall forever in the arms of death, or as he calls her, Susie, his lover through countless layovers in the afterlife, and his literal reason for living, as he drives onto one new existence after the other. Every journey from cradle to grave offers Milo more pieces of the great cosmic puzzle. If only he could piece them together in time to finally understand what it means to be a part of something bigger than infinity. Doesn't that just sound so good? I'm really intrigued. It's just about this guy who gets reincarnated and he's in love with death. So I think that could be fun. I also picked up Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I had to. This is a contemporary book about this girl who has been dating this guy for a couple months, and in the summer he takes her on vacation to his summer home, only to find out that he's probably one of the richest families in the world, if not the richest family in the world, that he's a part of it, and she's been sucked into this life that she never expected. And like, what's better than something like that? Because it's really what we all wish would happen. And people love this book series, and I know it's for a reason, so I do have it to eventually get to. It is kind of a big one, though. Gotta say. That one's gonna take some time, but eventually I will pick that up. I am really intrigued. I also got another contemporary that I've always wanted, and that's Save the Date by Morgan Matson. I don't know why this one intrigues me so much, but it's about this girl whose older sister is getting married, and she's a bridesmaid in the wedding, and it all takes place around a wedding. And so the wedding planner quits, the house alarm won't stop going off, Charlie's biggest crush shows up unannounced. There's a missing tuxedo, an unexpected dog, and a neighbor bent on destruction, not to mention the event planner's assistant who is surprisingly distractedly cute. And that's when things really get crazy. So like, it just honestly sounds like the cutest contemporary ever, and I also really want to pick this up. I'm excited about every one of these books. I'm gonna start crying. More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. This is my favorite contemporary author I've ever read. I've read all of his books except this one, so I got it. I'm pretty sure this is his first novel, and it's not people's favorites, but I don't care. I want it, and it has a cool cover. So this is about 16-year-old Aaron Santo, who's struggling to find happiness after a family tragedy. He's slowly remembering what happiness might feel like with the support of his girlfriend and his new best friend. Aaron kind of discovers something about himself that might shatter his newfound contentment as he and Aaron get closer. So, oh, whoa. Wait, what? A revolutionary memory alteration procedure, courtesy of the Leto Institute, might be the way to straighten himself out, but what if it means forgetting who he truly is? I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting it to be like, you know, a guy that like realizes that he might possibly have feelings for guys. But I should have known, because all of Adam Silvera's books have a twist on it. Like, They Both Die at the End has this app that tells you when that calls you when you're gonna die. So this book has this procedure that allows you to forget everything you know to change your life. So, intrigued, of course. And then I got God's Grief by J. Kristoff. And if you know me, you know how much I fell in love with the first book. In fact, I fell in love with Nevernight so much to the fact that I started tabbing it. I've never tabbed books before. I started tabbing it because I would laugh so hard, because in the first book, I don't know if it will be in this one, yes, here, there's these footnotes that like expand more on something that's happening in the novel. And it's so funny because like it shows you the history of the realm and expands the world, but also he's so sarcastic. I could rant about how much I love him. But it's basically about this girl who tries to get into this school for assassins because she wants to get revenge on the people who murdered her family. but like it's that, but so much better. The school you go to is so twisted and dark. It's messed up. It's how a real assassin school would be. It describes the grotesque things that happen when you're an assassin and what it really is. It doesn't romanticize it, and I love that. So like the first book is about like going to the school and like learning there and also uncovering a bigger mystery, and it's really good, and I'm so excited for the rest of the series. And I'm gonna fangirl for a while, except I've been recording for so long and I'm so sorry. Just 5 more. The next one I have is Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. This is the second book for the Kiss of Deception series, which I read a while ago, but I never got the second book. I accidentally got the third, and I finally have this one, so we're gonna continue it. It's about this girl who's supposed to get into an arranged marriage, but she ends up running away the day of her marriage, and 2 men chase after her. The prince she was supposed to marry and the assassin sent to kill her. And that's all you get to know, and it's actually really, 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 really good, gotta say. But I can't wait to continue. Then I got Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, which is the second book to the Scythe series, which is about this futuristic world where science has fixed everything, including death. So to control the world population, there's these people called Scythes, which have the express reason just to kill people, to control the population. And the 2 main characters in the books are both being apprenticed to a scythe to become scythes. And that's interesting because no one wants to be a scythe. They just get picked and they have to choose to do it. And it's really, really good and messed up, and I can't wait to continue. I got a lot of second books, which is a good thing. Look at me continuing series. And then I saw Anna and the French Kiss at my local half-price books by Stephanie Perkins, and I had to get it. This is just the classic contemporary book that everyone's in love with. I think it's about a girl that goes to France and falls in love. She goes to a boarding school in Paris for her senior year, and she doesn't speak French, but, you know, she falls in love. I like that, though. I didn't know it was a boarding school. That even intrigues me more. Now I have Ready Player One as well by Ernest Cline, which is a book I've always wanted to get. I saw the movie and loved it, and I'm like, I someday have to read this book, and I'm finally going to start doing that. It's a futuristic world where kind of society is really, really messed up. Like, they live in these not great conditions, but the technology is so advanced, and video games are interactive and real, and you go into them. And the main character doesn't have the best life, but he gets involved in this competition, which the guy who created this virtual reality, he died, but he left behind this like series of trials and puzzles, and whoever beats them and gets to own his company to continue his future, and no one has ever won. And the main character has always been so fascinated by this guy and these trials because he loves this world so much that he created, and so he kind of gets involved in solving them, and it's really good. And then I got The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is a really, really, really great fantasy, much like Six of Crows, but has the humor of, it's like not as dark. What book was I trying to compare its humor to? I don't remember, but this is about this guy who is a leader of a gang, and they pull off really big heists on nobles to take away all their money. But of course he gets involved in so much more, and it's this really interesting, honestly this does remind me of Six of Crows, and that came up after, so I can see where the inspiration might have come from. But it's a really, really in-depth world from what I've read, because I did read a little bit of this before. But Locke Lamora is the main character. I don't know how to correctly describe this, so I just kind of wanted to like read the back. But he gets caught up in a murderous game basically, and he and his friends are trying to struggle to survive after a heist they get involved in. So it's really good. I would definitely recommend it, and maybe someone else can describe it better. But I love you all so very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you give me a like down below, tell me some of the books that you got recently that you're excited for, or any of these books that are interesting to you. I know there's a lot that are interesting to me in this haul, but I'll see you all in my next one. Bye bye.